Alrighty, we are back with another fixed blade. This is the third and final knife that I have from Gene over at Rugged Mountain Blades. This is the Nebo. And again, mountain range in Utah. And I did talk to him the other day, and I actually, in one of my earlier videos, totally messed up his wife's name. It's not Shannon, it's Sharon, which I had written down properly. I just said it incorrectly. So I wanted to make that faux pas apology. I wanted to make that right. For the record, it's Sharon. And they do have 6 kids. They are a blended family. 2 kids from him, 4 from her, I think is correct. Hopefully I got that right this time. And he has not actually gone knife making full time. I totally misunderstood that. Anyway, there you go. Now I have corrected everything for the record. This is a 3-finger EDC knife that my buddy Eric, Bullets and Blades, who I hung out with in Utah, who actually has a very cool logo and stickers that I still need to put on somewhere. He carries one of these every day. And I talked about that previously, so I won't go into those details. But I have also been carrying it around for about a week. And I kind of like it. I'm not sure I am an EDC fixed blade guy yet, but it is interesting. It is a small 3-finger knife, like I mentioned. It has a great edge, hollow grind, flat grind, and then the swedge on top. So in talking to Gene, he goes, it's actually a pretty tough knife to build and grind so that they all match, because there's 6 grinds, 3 on either side. And to get them to line up and look right, if that would focus, is a tough thing to do. But he's got it pretty well dialed in. This particular one has an epoxy handle with what he calls a messed up aluminum honeycomb and micarta pins that you can barely see. Well, in the certain light, you can see the pins there. And it's just kind of a cool knife. 80 CRV, so it's super user-friendly to field sharpen or sharpen on the go. It is comfortable in the hand if you're into the 3-finger thing. I feel a little, to me, it feels awkward because, well, it feels a little awkward to me only having 3 fingers. However, it is a nice, concise package. And it really does disappear on my belt. I can put it on. I carry it around. It doesn't bother me when I'm sitting. My fat gut doesn't dig into it. Like it feels good. And I have been carrying it at the 4 o'clock position. Well, actually, I'm wearing it on my left side recently, so that'd be more like the 8 o'clock position. So right behind my hip on my left side. Just because I didn't really feel like changing this around and putting it on my right side, it would be at my 4 o'clock. Then it might get a little bit in the way of my phone going in my back pocket. I don't know. I didn't do that, but I have been using it on my left side. I can deploy it with my left hand just fine. I could cut something with my left hand if needed, or I just transition to my right, do what I want to do, put it back in my left. You do have to look down a little bit to then re-sheath it. No big deal. It works really well. I think it's a cool knife. So let's talk about the specs a little bit. 5 7/8 overall with basically a 3-inch blade with from the scale to basically 3 inches of blade. 80 CRV, weighs in at 2.2 ounces for just the knife, or 3.4 as a package, which is interesting weight-wise because just because I love VC Edge, this at 3.6-inch blade comes in at 1.4, 1.5 ounces. So you're at 1.5 or 2.2. That's what carbon fiber does. And this one, this one actually weighs about the same as this one, because this has titanium and this has Damascus, which is slightly heavier. However, it has the cutouts, so it kind of equals out the weight. on this guy. And I love this knife. I'm actually going to put it in my pocket right now. Carry that the rest of the day. Your handle thickness, it varies from 0.56 to 0.64 back here. So it is contoured. He offers this both with smooth scales and his textured rock pattern that is on the fixed blade that I showed earlier, which is over on the other table, so I won't go grab it. But actually, I will. So he will do this type of textured pattern on this small guy also, which is what Eric's is. Eric has this type of pattern on his scales. And this thing is just totally badass. I'm not even a hunter or carry a fixed blade all the time, but this thing just makes me want to go chop some stuff. It's just super cool. So any excuse to show that, I'm glad to do. All right, so I don't even really have any fixed blades here to size compare it with because I didn't plan that far ahead, I guess. But there you go. It's just a hair longer than a Sharpie. Okay, how about a Spyderco Delica? So this is not going to be for everybody to carry, maybe, right? This is for when you need a fixed blade. And when do you need a fixed blade? If you're going to do any sort of, not that we recommend it even with a fixed blade, but you're going to do any kind of prying, digging, anywhere where you're going to be putting a lot of force on the blade and you're concerned about it unlocking on your hand, you'd want to use a fixed blade. What this is really a good use case for me and for Eric, and one of the reasons why Eric does carry it, because if you're carrying a fancy knife, right? Damasteel and whatnot, and you've got some cutting task that is a little more than opening a box or something that you just don't feel comfortable using a high dollar, high value, high profile type of knife, you can pull this fixed blade out and you can just use the heck out of this and not worry about it get scratched, not worry about if you chip it a little bit or you ding the scales. This one you're just going to use, where this one is more pocket jewelry, okay? I'm not going to lie. We carry pocket jewelry. Anybody that says different is lying. However, everything I carry, I use. I have never been in a situation where I didn't want to use the knife that was in my pocket. I am not your average guy. I do office work. I'm not out in the field anymore. I'm not in construction trades. I'm not in, whatever. That's where you might want to have a lower budget, a more affordable type of knife that is a fixed blade to do that dirty work rather than a fancy blade that you have in your pocket to do those types of tasks, right? Does that make sense? So I don't know. That's my take on it. That's why I think there is absolutely a place for this in your collection of fancy and exotic pocket knives. You tell me your thoughts down below, and please go check out my other couple of videos on rugged mountain blades. I will put a link to his playlist up here in the corner. And I hope now that I'm done with these, I got to send them back to him. I hope that I will get the chance to check out some of his newer models or different models in the future, because he's a hell of a great guy and he's doing some pretty great work as a part-time knife maker. Are they perfect? Are they, exotic level, like award winning? No, but he's making pretty cool stuff. And I think he's going to get to that award winning level if he keeps at it. And the nice guy aspect of it means a lot to me over a lot of other things. So there you go. I'm going to send these back to him, and please go check him out. I will put links to his Instagram and whatnot down below. If you are interested in any of these, hit him up. Thanks a lot, guys. Have a fantastic day. And come back tomorrow. There's more cool stuff, I promise you.